excitement in your bones, and everything you do's a game. When night comes and you're on your own, you can say I chose.
My guests today are travelling along the ancient trade route known as the Silk Road, cooking the cuisine of each country they visit with local families along the way. They began their culinary journey in Germany and have since passed through Italy, Turkey, Iran, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan and Russia, before arriving in Mongolia. Sanbeitsgano, hello and welcome to Talk With Me. I'm Grace Brown. My guests today have travelled along the ancient trade route known as the Silk Road. They've come from Germany and are cooking the cuisine of families they meet in countries along the way. Eda and Sten, hello and welcome to the program.
Hello.
Firstly, why are you doing this?
Why we do this? We work very hard 25 years in Germany, and it was a great dream of us to see Mongolia.
And it's a long dream of us to go around the Silk Road, because we love the story of the Silk Road, because we know it's not only one road, it's a couple of lays and paths, and we like the stories, and we would see with our own eyes what's happened there.
Yes, what's happened in the countries, what happened in the families, and the Silk Route is full of smell, of thinking, of stories, and so we think, let's cook with the people, and so we are closer with the people, we are closer with the families, and so we see what has happened in the real life, in the daily life.
So where have you guys been so far? You started in Germany, and tell me about your journey since then.
We started in December 2014, in the Christmas time.
At 25th, yeah?
The 25th of December. Our family was not glad, but not happy, but we think it's a good time to say now it's the right time for us to go. And so we started in 25th of December, and at first we went to Italy, after them to Greece, because in Italy the Silk Road, this is the end of the Silk Road in Vans, and then Greece, Turkey, Iran, from Iran to Turkmenistan, then Kazakhstan, Caspian Sea, after them Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, then Kazakhstan again, the eastern part, Russia, and now we are in Mongolia.
Wow, that is quite a journey. And how do you find Mongolia so far?
I told you, this is a dream to see Mongolia. What we heard about the countryside, what we heard about the people, it is so far away from Europe, from the European mind, and so we think let's see Mongolia, and we prepared the trip 5 or 6 years, and every time the Mongolia was in our brain, in our mind.
How did you prepare for this trip?
We started preparing 2008. Yes, 2008. In Germany and in the world was a little crisis.
The global financial crisis.
The global crisis, and so we think let do things that make us happy.
Again, happy
again. Happy again. No fall down in a hole. Let us thinking about the future. And so The dream was born to make a trip 2015.
Wow.
2015, it's a great year for us. Last year our children grow up and go out of school, and now we are
Mum and Dad
alone.
are free.
Yeah, we have
Road
free
trip.
time.
So
Childhood.
Yes.
yeah, your adult gap year, you could say. So you were saying that when you were planning this trip, Mongolia was very clear in your mind.
Yeah.
Which parts of the country have you seen so far, and how long have you been here?
In Mongolia.
Yeah.
We arrived in Mongolia from the west side. Yeah. At first we come. What's the name of the city?
In Tashanta.
In
We came
Tashanta.
from Russia.
Yeah, we come from Russia to Tashanta, and we crossed the border, and the landscape changed total from Russia to Mongolia.
How did it
And
change?
at first, the border was closed for 5 days
Yes.
because in Mongolia was Nadam, and so the border person.
And so
didn't
we
work.
must wait. Yeah, we must wait five days in Russia, and so we say, okay, let's wait us. Look, we take a beautiful place there and wait 5 days. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And the next
On the
step,
border.
and the
Yeah.
next step was not Mongolia. The next step was into the border because 5 p.m. the border is closed. But our process was not empty,
Yeah.
and so we must sleep in the border for 1 night alone with some cars too.
Wow.
And we made the first border
Film festival.
film festival there because there was other truck, and they have a film projector there, and so we watched film into the border, and it was a
Great experience.
great
yes.
That's
experience.
definitely one way to pass time at a border crossing.
And then we could go in Mongolia.
So you really got to see how the country stands to a halt during Nadam, how important Nadam is to Mongolians. Did you see any of the Nadam celebrations when you finally got in?
Yes, we are
Yeah.
lucky
Yeah?
because
At first we are sad. Yeah.
yes,
At first, we think the Nadam is over because the border was closed because of the Nadam, and we are sad now the Nadam is over. But we came the first day. We
Ogil?
arrived Ogil, and we talked with some people, and they told us, in Altensuk is Nadam, and
Another Nadam.
There was
another
a-
Nadam,
a
yes.
mini Nadam.
Yeah.
anniversary, and so they have
90 years
90
Altensuk.
90 years was in Zug.
Ah.
and we were so impressed
Yeah.
of this Nadam. It was like a movie for us.
Yeah.
Yes, like a time channel maybe, because the picture we saw were so totally different from all what we
Yeah.
could say in the past, and we felt like children because I'm a photographer and I made pictures because the clothing, the horses, the wrestling, it was great for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the only one tourists, and so it was a real Nadam
Wow.
for us.
How did they react to you, two Germans in the middle of
I
a
think
mini Nadam?
I think the people looked around, and we
They put
looked there
what
and
is
they
this?
looked to us.
They are very friendly.
Yes.
We was invited in a yurt in a ger.
You went into the
Yeah,
ger.
in the ger.
Oh.
And we know something what we do to do the first step, and it was very good to drink the horse milk, to eat something. And it was the first day for us. in this
in
nada.
Mongolia.
What Mongolian food have you tried and what have you cooked?
Yes. We have the cooking book, our cooking book, but it is sometimes a little difficult for us. We cooked in near Hoft, at a little village in
Dundus?
Dundus, at the family. We lived 2 weeks with the family
Wow.
together, three boys and the couple.
In a
And
ger?
we came together on the road. We made pictures on the road,
Yeah.
and then they stopped with the car and they talked in English with us, and
Wow.
they invited us to Hofdundus. And so we said, yes, why not? They can talk in English
So
with
they
us.
welcomed you in, complete strangers,
Yeah.
for 2 whole weeks.
Yes,
Yeah.
and one day more, and one day again, and at the end, we think, oh, 2 weeks.
It's quite amazing.
2 weeks
They are
with,
so
with the
welcoming
family,
here.
with a great family.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was a great experience for us. We teach the children. No child can swim. There,
Could
they have a
swim in the
lake.
past.
Yeah, could swim, and we teach them swimming. Yeah,
Fantastic.
And they was so impressed. Every day we teach, and every day 3 p.m. they are waiting of us to teach.
Ready to go.
15, 20 boys, they
Yeah,
are
it
waiting
was
for
very
us
great.
every day.
So
Very
they
great.
taught you traditional nomadic cooking and you taught them some swimming.
Swimming.
Yes,
Not bad.
yes.
So
yes.
what recipes did they teach you? Did you learn hosha or swiven or
Yeah,
what's
the first dish in Dundus, in Mongolia and in Dundus, was a sheep, Beshbarmak barbecue. Yes, it is a very. The people say us it is a 600 years old dish from the old tradition, from the sacred tradition, and so they prepared for us.
Wow.
It is a sheep. They burned the sheep, and so the smell of barbecue. It is a special smell, the burning process, and
Seeing that as a European, you're used to seeing your meat nicely packaged in a supermarket.
Yeah.
You don't see where it's come from or how it's been prepared.
Yeah.
Was that quite a shock for you? How did you take that?
It's yes, sometimes it's like a shock for us and for the people behind us at home. Yes, because they talk with us. Oh, what did you do? You killed a sheep.
the lovely sheep.
Yes,
But
the
that
lovely
is
sheep.
that is how
But
meat
yes,
is prepared.
Yes, but
Yeah.
we think this is the real life, and we want to see the real life, and not what's happened
Yeah.
in the supermarket.
And
Do you
this is the
think-
best way to get a good food.
It's fresh.
Yeah, fresh.
It's definitely fresh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we think they pray at first, and they make it with a good strategy, and so we think they used all of the sheep, not only the best pieces. They used all, and so we think it's a good way to do it so, and not only to go in the supermarket and say, okay, I don't know what's this, I buy it.
So tell me, what other Mongolian food have you made on your journey here?
Very delicious was hujur.
Hosha,
Hujur,
yes.
the teig flat with meat inside or vegetable.
And we learned, not we cooked, but we learned to make nomade's vodka.
Yes,
This was great in a yurt. Yes.
Wow.
At
from
first,
milk.
From milk. At
Yes.
first, they must
They
shake
yeah.
the milk,
Yeah.
and after then, in the process, we have the picture.
Did you enjoy it?
It was a little the taste was a little strange.
Strong.
Strong,
Very
no,
strong.
strange. It is not so strong like real vodka.
Yeah.
It's only 10 or 15%, but we take it at the gear, and the situation was very good, and we drank this. We see how they make this. It was very good experience for us.
Yes.
Aside from learning new recipes, you've also learned a lot of new life skills along the way, presumably. What are some of the things that this journey has taught you?
We learned many about us. We learned about waiting.
Yes.
Waiting
Be
is
patient.
the way. Be
Patient.
patient.
There's
yes.
a more fluid concept of time
Yes.
Yes.
than in Germany.
Yeah, normally we are Germans. We tell, you know it. The Germans are very good in planning and organization. Yeah, and this is our culture. And we plan 1 week, 1 month, 1 year.
1 hour.
Yeah, and we all the time planning. And on the trip,
We learned to go with the flow.
yeah, go
And
with
now
the flow.
we like it because if you go with the flow, so many things can come to you.
Surprises.
Yes.
Yes, surprise,
And-
big surprises.
Yes.
So, you guys have been on the road now for what, more than half a year, living together 24 hours a day. How do you guys cope with being together constantly?
You.
No, do.
We live a long time together, yeah. But normally, I have my work, she have your own work. You meet, you be together, and you
out.
go away.
Yeah.
Yes. And in this year, you be 24 hours, every hour, every minute, every second together. Yeah. And the longest way was 300 meters from each
The
other.
distance
The distance.
between each other.
The same distance, and it is a hard probe, yeah, for a couple
Yeah.
to do this.
And we think it was, before we started, 50-50. It can be good or it can be finished.
Separate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
now we are together.
And now we are together. We are sitting here and not so far.
Yeah.
No, we are happy together, and
And we are closer than before.
That's
Yes.
wonderful.
Well, we love more than before.
yes.
So you'd recommend this to other couples?
It's a
After
good, I think it's a
them-
good therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after this time, you know what's happened.
Yes. You want or you hate each other.
You must have depended on each other quite a lot at different points of this journey. Could you give some examples? For example, in the Middle East, as
Yeah.
a woman,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yes, I like Iran. Yes, I was impressed about the friendly people there. Yes, but the country is other side a little bit like a prison, and for a woman it's hard. I'm not an Islamic woman, and I must be covered the whole time. If you open the door in the morning, I must look. I'm covered from the head to the shoes, and with the headscarf the whole time. And it was in the winter time. My big jacket, I can't put it out in the restaurant. I must sit with the big jacket in the
Really?
restaurant.
Yeah.
And
What
my-
about ordering food?
Yes, ordering food, it's a little special because the waiter looked all the time to me, to the man. The man ordered and the woman is air. Yeah, like air.
it's a kind
Yeah,
of
like,
air.
Like air. It's a rule. It's a rule there.
So she had to,
Yeah.
Ada had to depend on you, Sten,
Yes,
during that time.
She was very dependent on me.
And what about you? Have you had to rely on Ada?
Ada can also drive this car. It's very big, 18 tons, very heavy. And 1 week ago or 10 days ago, I have a pain with my appendix. And so we stay 800 kilometers far from UB. it was a long distance at the gravel road all the time.
That's not good.
It's not good. Normally 800 kilometers, it's 3 days. Yeah, but this took
1 week.
5-7 days to arrive to EUB.
And so it's good. I can drive the truck too, and we can change. And if we have problems, we can change who's the driver. And so I think we work good together on this trip.
Yeah.
Yes, we are
She
helpful.
drove very good. She drove to very heavy road conditions.
Thank you very much.
What do you think of Mongolia's roads? I've traveled around here a lot, and sometimes it can be a challenge.
I like we like to travel, and we like to travel off-road. Yes, we drive in Africa, in Australia.
And we think for the landscape, it's nice to go by the path, not by the asphalt road. So it's more natural.
Yeah.
It's more out of
and the path looks very nice. The little stones, it drives also very, very nice in the landscape.
I guess especially in a four-wheel drive like that, it won't be quite as bumpy for you.
We have to go slowly, very slowly, because we are like an elephant. Yes.
Like a big elephant. But if the water is coming, we can go to 1.5 meter water.
Because our tires
can
are
pass
high.
this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely makes it easier to travel as far as you've done across all the countries that you have.
Yes.
You've done how many kilometers in total?
Now
the kilometers are 25,703 kilometers to here.
How much fuel have you used?
The truck used 19 to 20 liters normally. In heavy conditions, 25 liters, and so we can make. I don't know what. We have 1,000 liter in the tanks. It is very necessary, 1,000 liter, and with this 1,000 liter we can
3,000 kilometers.
We can go, and it is very necessary, very important. Go to Uzbekistan. In Uzbekistan, you can't buy diesel. There's no diesel, and the whole distance is 2,500 kilometers.
We can make it as a table, and now we like it for relaxing. If we have friends with us, then we can sleep here. And
or everybody is sick, we can separate.
Yes.
If you're sick of each other,
If you're sick,
then you can take some break
Separate,
here.
yes.
And this is your kitchen.
Yes, this is our kitchen, and it's comfortable. Yes, we can go out here and we can cook outside and inside too. And so it's like a normal kitchen.
You've got a
at home.
stove, you've got a
Stove,
fridge.
And here we have tools. What we need to know, that's not so nice.
this is traveling.
Yeah, it's traveling.
So this opens
And
here.
this is important. We must cover because
Oh, of course, when you're on the road.
At the gravel road.
Is-
Yes.
You don't want cutlery flying around. So, a note to any future travellers: if you're crossing Uzbekistan, bring a lot of fuel, clearly.
Yes, it's special.
But we think it's not was heißt teuer? It's not so expensive to make a trip for 1 year. Yes, it's more or less if you think. Yes, you need not so much money because we live in our truck. We didn't know in the past a hotel. We can sleep there, we can cook there, we have a shower there, and
We
so
use the local food.
yes.
It's also
How does it compare cost-wise to if you had stayed at home, living in Germany for a year?
I think it is more expensive. It is
In Germany?
in Germany
Yes.
to live to live in Germany than to be on the road. It is more expensive. It is less to be on the road.
Could you give an example of that? Like, for example, the heating?
The heating is very good.
Yeah?
We have a heater in the car with the gas, with the LPG, liquid propane, and we heat in the whole winter time in this truck from December till May.
May.
We used the heater because it was very cold in Iran, Turkey, to Kazakhstan, and we use 11 kilogram LPG for €5. We heat
That's
the
a
whole.
deal.
This is a deal. €5 to heat the whole winter time. This is very good.
You guys both have a job which you've had to put on hold for 1 year. Could you tell us about that? How did you prepare for that? And what do you do back in Germany?
Okay.
Yes, we are the owner of our own company. We have a company for marketing and product design and development. We have 45 employees, and we think and we thought it's important that our company is stable without us too. And so we prepared the new management 5 years ago. We started to bring up a new management, and we talked with our employer in a long time ago that we planned to go for 1 year, and so it was transparent. It was not secret. We was open with this topic, and so now our company has the chance to come with new ideas from their own side, and we want to come with new ideas after this trip, and it's a new experience if we come together again. And
So you think this break, almost like a sabbatical, will make your company stronger?
yeah,
Yes, we think so. We think so. It must the company independent of us, and the new management can have the chance to make their own ideas, to grow up their own ideas.
and they feel their own energy,
Yeah.
not only our energy. This was in the past. Now they can bring out their own energy, and so we think it's good for our company too. Yes.
And where did your passion for cooking come from? Have you always loved to cook?
Yes, we love cooking, and international cooking. We like it, and so it was our idea. We asked ourselves how we can come closer together with the people around our trip, and so we had an idea: if we cook together, if we come on a table together, so you are close with the people together.
Food brings people together.
Yes, and
Yes, it's
eating
Yeah.
and you make it with friends.
Yes.
Yes.
And a second was friends of us said ask us how you communicate with strange people.
Sometimes
with Mongolian,
without
with,
language.
without language. And so we think if you cook together, you don't need language. Yeah, you cook and you do this, and drinking, and so you don't need a language, and it works. Yeah, you can be a day together or a half day together without language.
That's wonderful. Were there any communication problems?
No.
No.
We think if
No.
you have a smile in your face, you don't have a problem.
I agree.
Yes.
Sometimes it is better, not better, but sometimes it is good to understand nothing, and so you look at the face, at the mimic,
The body
at
language.
the body language. You are very sensitive of things, Normally, if you understand, you don't look at these little things.
Well, they say 90% of all communication is non-verbal, so that would make sense.
This is true.
Did anything funny happen along the way? Did anything go wrong? For example,
We had a problem with our
Yes,
car.
very funny problem.
Yes, our gearbox was broken, and we had to wait for 1 month.
1 month.
1 month.
Where did that happen?
And it was in Kazakhstan. At first, we had a problem in Iran,
Yes.
but they fixed it for the next step. And
Yeah.
then in Kazakhstan, we had a problem again. And so we must change the gearbox.
So the plans went completely out the window.
Yes.
Yeah.
A 1 month
at first,
delay in
we
Kazakhstan.
planned to go to Tajikistan too, but these 4 weeks we cancelled, and so we wait in Almaty, and this was a very good chance to know people there, to live 1 month there, and to know other people.
It
to-
was not a waiting time,
Yeah.
it was a living
Surprise.
time. Yes, for us.
A surprise.
Yes, a big surprise.
So that experience taught you to just adapt and make the most of it, whatever happens.
Yes.
Yes.
This was the best time. The best time was the waiting time in Kazakhstan, in Almaty, and this time we live with the family in Dundas. Yes.
So one last question. Could you tell us a little bit more about your cookbook coming out?
This was the idea, and the idea works. We cooked in total 29 times with families.
And we have a spoon.
And the last cooking experience was last weekend.
And you have a spoon, I
Yes,
gather.
yes.
And we have a spoon.
Tell us
Spoon.
about the spoon.
Yes, this spoon is our for remembering after this project. And
So-
if we cook together with the people, they give the own sign and the place where we cooked and the date, and so this is the people here. They come together with us in the spoon.
Yes, and it is a remember. If we come back, we will remember on this great experience and this great time.
Yes. And last weekend we cooked, and if you want, we can make the sign, because Sasa. Yes, and this is the sign of our cooking project, and we want to make a travel and cooking book, and with stories. And we think if you read this book in the future, you want to feel how was the atmosphere if we cook together.
So it's not just recipes, it's a journey,
Yes.
Yeah. A journey book. Yeah.
a food journey.
Yes, and you can look inside the atmosphere, and you can learn about the culture around this
Yeah.
trip. And then, if you want, you can cook.
Yes.
So
And there's
Zaza,
Zaza.
do you want to come up and sign the spoon?
We have a very good place for you. It's not.
It's a bit of a tight
here
squeeze.
you can, or here it is good.
Okay,
Sasa.
schreib mal.
Yeah, schreib mal. And Sasa speak very well German.
That
It was very good to
That is very
have
lucky, yeah.
Yes, to talk with a Mongolian woman in German
the
language, and so we can ask what we want, what we want to know in our language. It was very detailful.
fantastic. And what are you going to do with this spoon when you get home?
Comes in the kitchen, in our kitchen, for remembering.
The pictures with the spoon come in the book.
Yeah.
Yes, and then it's for our remembering, because all the people are our friends now.
Yeah.
And they are,
Bekla?
and all the people are close to our hearts, and so it's emotionally for us to have the spoon.
Fantastic. Well, on that note, thank you very much for coming on the program today, Sten and
Thank you.
Eda. Wonderful to meet you
Thank you.
both. So we're going to take a quick look at how Eda and Sten have been traveling along the Silk Road in their caravan. Okay, that brings this edition of Talk With Me to an end. I'm Grace Brown. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at GraceBrown87. You can also follow Star TV and Talk With Me on Facebook, as well as on Twitter. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.